Hey guys, it's YOU WACK, and with all the talks of the appear offline feature coming into Overwatch, it also brought the discussion of bringing back the avoid player option back into Overwatch also, and I wish Blizzard could bring and avoid my ex-girlfriend, but pushing my lonely love life to the side for today's video, I did want to talk about bringing this feature back, and if you guys would actually like to see something like this return into the game. So just leave me down some comments down below and leaving your thoughts, because I feel like this feature would just kind of fix the whole competitive problem. What I mean by the quote-unquote competitive problem is the toxic players, is the people that are just throwing, is the people that aren't really taking competitive serious, which again, I never like to say, oh, you can't have fun in competitive, you need to take it serious, because no. But the main argument that I make is that you shouldn't really treat it like quick play. You should be willing to switch when they have obvious counters or if something isn't working, and you should be willing to work as a team. When in quick play, you should just have fun, play any heroes that you want, practice the heroes. I'm still gonna get annoyed if you pick a Hanzo and attack, but hey, if you get 3 snipes, man, then you shut me up, bruh. But getting back on topic, the feature, the avoid player option, was actually taken out a few weeks after the game was released because, well, humans aren't perfect. We're not perfect because a lot of people kind of misinterpreted what this feature was supposed to do, and the main kind of purpose of this feature was to avoid the players that was quote-unquote ruining your experience, and that was loosely used because, well, let's say this, someone picks Widowmaker on attack, someone picks Hanzo, someone picks Torbjorn on attack, and, well, anyone can just go to their little profile and saying, hey, they're ruining my experience for playing a hero that's not suited for this team comp. I'm going to avoid this player so that I cannot play with him for the rest of my whole entire life. And again, that's kind of abusing the avoid player feature because that's not its main intentions. Really, if someone's just yelling at you saying, oh, you suck, you're terrible at this game, or vice versa, if they just keep jumping off the map or just really not playing the game, then you don't want to play with that person. But just because someone picks Widowmaker or someone picks Hanzo doesn't necessarily mean they're throwing, even though kind of is. All jokes aside, though, that's not really what it was for. And of course, the Blizzard team did take it out, but you might be wondering, oh, YOU WACK, why is that such a bad feature? Like, sure, if a few people did get annoyed for me picking Widowmaker, I don't really care. I'll find more people. But here's the thing. Let's say this. Let's say literally every single Overwatch player has played with this player that was picking Torbjorn on attack, which is like highly unlikely. Let's just say that. And then they all went to this player's profile and clicked avoid me. Well, then that player is not going to have anybody to play with because the whole entire community just hit avoid me, and now they're sitting alone at lunch just like me because I don't have any cool Yu-Gi-Oh cards. All jokes aside, though, that's probably the reason why, because, well, now these people literally can't queue up with anybody, and now it's taking longer for them to find a game and for them to actually enjoy the game, all because they just wanted to play a hero and they weren't necessarily throwing. Or even if you want to look at a different reason of how this feature was abused, let's say that they, on the enemy team, right, that they had like a Pro Genji or a Godlike Tracer or a Soldier or McCree that had awesome aim. I'm not going to say I don't get annoyed, but here's the thing. Some people would misinterpret the quote-unquote ruining my experience, go to that player's profile and click avoid me because, hey, I don't like getting stomped. I don't like getting killed in the game, even though that's the main feature of the game, so I don't want to play with this player anymore for the rest of my life. And then the same thing would happen. Everyone except for the people that are teamed up with this godlike player would go onto that player's profile, hit avoid me just because, hey, they're good. I don't want to get stomped and I don't want to play with that player. And then again, the same thing would happen. They would have longer queue times and it would just ruin their experience because they simply just can't find a game just because, well, hey, I'm just good at the game. I just wanted to play video games and just kill people. I did that and now I get punished. I just want to play games, man. So even though this is a feature that would fix so many problems in competitive, that would just fix the toxic kind of players and that would just fix the people that aren't taking the game serious and just jumping off the map, it would just get abused by all the human players. And I just want to stress that, human players, because we're all human. We don't want to play with the attack Symmetra that just went attack on Route 66. We don't want to get sniped down by the Widowmaker on the other team. So we're going to avoid that Widowmaker. We're going to avoid that Symmetra because, well, hey, I just want to play with normal kind of people, even though that, give that Symmetra a chance, man. You don't know about these wildcard picks. So again, I'm not going to sit here and say that I wouldn't use that feature for that kind of thing because, no, I want to have somewhat of a fair match. And you guys might just sit there and say, oh, it's just because you suck. I'm trying my little heart out, okay, guys? I'm literally trying. But that's where bringing back this feature can really come into play and help out the competitive community, but tweaking it around a little bit. But you can't really tweak around human activity, just normal human behavior. We don't like getting killed or being teamed up with something that's not really quote-unquote meta or just really normal. But you might be wondering, well, there's already a system like that. That's the report player option. But the difference between avoid player and report player is that avoid player is instantaneously, and it kind of puts them in little pool of people that are also doing the same thing, usually, because usually avoid players really don't avoid other avoid players. Sometimes they do, but report players, it takes a little bit of time, but again, it's looked at Blizzard, but Blizzard can only do so much, and it's not instantaneous. It's going to wait a couple days if the activity continues, if people just continue to just throw games intentionally, or just troll around, or just have this toxic behavior. It will happen, but after a couple weeks, and we just want to avoid that player right now, because who's to say? This usually always happens. Let's say I do have a thrower on my team, and he's literally throwing. He's just jumping off the map. We're both going to lose the game, and we both have the relatively same SR, so who's to say we won't get teamed up with on the same team again after I just queue up for another competitive game? And you might just say, oh, Bray Rack, why don't I just wait 20 minutes? Yeah, but I just want to play. There's just so many arguments that could be made, but the avoid player option would just work so perfectly if we weren't abusing the freaking system. So I want to blame you guys. No, I'm just kidding around, but really this would just solve so many problems. And I do want to get your guys' thoughts and opinions and just hear what they could do for this, because the benefit for avoid player is that it's instantaneous, and that's what I love about it. But the bad thing, the con with it, is that it's blocking the people away from the community that's not really doing anything wrong, or in fact doing something very good, and want to be avoided by all the people that aren't very good, if that makes any sense. So in conclusion, we all hate toxic throwers that are just trolling in the game and just ruining the experience for it. Or sometimes it can make for a good YouTube video. I'm not gonna lie, I sometimes laugh at those, but really when I get in a game, I want to try to get the W. That's mainly why I go into competitive and not quick play. If I want to mess around, I go into quick play, and having a feature like where avoid players would just really come in handy. But I do want to get your guys' thoughts. So I love you guys, thank you guys for watching more Overwatch videos to come, and bye.